Looks like the predator call has not been successful calling a coyote, but has called all the curious cows. Hey guys, it's Rhett from the 100 Acre Highlands. I have been out here testing out a coyote call or a predator call some today. You can probably hear it in the background. And just this first time sitting out here, no luck calling up any coyotes, but within about 5 minutes of playing it, I think about half the cows in the whole place had come right up to it to investigate. They're such curious animals. They basically circled around it and just stood there and listened to it for 10 minutes. So it's kind of middle of the afternoon and I don't really expect to see a coyote, but wanted to come out here and give this thing a test run for a morning or an evening set, because as you may have seen on Facebook, we have lost another calf just recently. That makes the third one for 2023, mysteriously. And I have absolutely no way of knowing for certain that it is a predator that is killing them. But it does make me awful suspicious when you find one that appears to have been healthy and nursing and walking around, and then next thing you know, you can't find it, and then you find its carcass about half eaten a day or two later. So you guys may remember back in February, we had 3 Hereford Highland crosses born. And there was a bit of confusion because the first one that was born, see it nursing, it's all good to go out there to check it the next day, and I see this Hereford calf nursing from a different cow. And didn't dawn on me at the time that it was a completely different calf. Start trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and then discover that that first one that I had seen nursing, seen walking around, appeared to be totally healthy, was dead. So I found its carcass, just went looking around, put a cell camera right on it, and a day or two later, while I'm having my morning coffee, the cell camera goes off, and it's one of those cameras that will basically send you an alert the second the camera goes off, and there are 2 coyotes there in the same area that the cows are at. So I grab the gun, drive over to the pasture, get out, run over, luckily see one, shoot it, it drops like a rock. A few minutes later, see another one, shoot it, it does a bit of a somersault and runs into some fairly thick woods, and I never found it, but fairly confident I got that one. So I got those 2 coyotes, and it sucks to have lost those Hereford Highland crosses. Fast forward September of this year, I think it was September, might have been October, have to look back. Jasper, one of my registered Highlands, has her first little bull calf. Sister and nephew and niece are here where we go out and see the calf. It's walking around, it's nursing, seems to be doing great. We're all excited, go home. Next day, come out, no calf. Jasper's there, no calf. Takes a few days, can't find it. I'm pretty sure it's gone. And we bring Ruger, Anna's dog, out here, and he finds it in just a few minutes near the last area that I saw it, and its remains are scattered all throughout a little field. Near that same time, there had been 3 wild dogs roaming the pasture a little bit, and so don't know, but a little suspicious again. And then just this week, a day or two ago, I come out to feed a bag of cubes, pouring out the cubes in the Ranger, getting ready to drive off, and I kind of look up and I see something that looks odd. And so I drive over to check it, and it is the rib cage of some mystery calf that looks like it was itty bitty thing. This one is the only one of the 3 that I did not witness it up and nursing and walking, just found the dead carcass. So I put the cell camera on it, and 4 p.m. yesterday, great big coyote is running off with a piece of its leg in its mouth. Unfortunately, I was at the church at the time getting ready for the Christmas play, and so couldn't do anything about that one. Last night, just after dark, the camera goes off and there's 2 coyotes there. Not a lot I can do after dark on that. I don't have a night vision scope or a thermal scope or anything like that. But today, went and picked up a coyote call. Makes a bunch of different sounds. You know, it's got baby rabbits, cottontails, crows, coyote howling and fighting, pup fights, raccoons, woodpecker noises. And we're gonna try to see if we can call some in, because it just was really bugging the crap out of me that I have lost 3 calves this year. And you know, when I was a kid and my dad had cows, I don't really ever remember him losing so many. And our dog Bear, our German Shepherd, used to roam the pasture. Just kind of, you know, he might hear something at night, run outside, go bark and chase things and come back 30 minutes later. Well, now that we live in a fenced-in yard area across the street from the farm, he doesn't do that anymore. So there's no big dogs roaming the pasture anymore, which I think could contribute to, you know, some of the coyotes and predators just roaming a little bit more. It's not like we have a livestock guardian dog or anything like that. We don't have a donkey. We do have a little pony, which, you know, I thought may deter some of it. But, you know, once these cows and calves are a little bigger and they're up and running and moving, I don't really worry about the coyotes. What I worry about is these ones that are born and the mama cow goes and hides it in the woods. And that's kind of fairly common occurrence here. Is calf is born, they go into the creek bed, they go into this big block of woods, they go somewhere, hide that calf, and then the mom will go out and graze or do whatever it does and just leave that calf for hours at a time. Well, when they're just real young like that, they'll stay hidden and won't move. And so when we AI'd a few cows, we knew fairly closely when a calf was going to be born. And so, like, you know, Bernadette here, if we knew she was going to have a calf because we had AI'd her or done some embryo work or something like that, we could go ahead and get her in a corral, get her in a pen near the date that she's supposed to give birth, and we could more closely monitor and, you know, be able to assist or protect that calf if it's born. But most of these cows out here, they're just in here with the bull, you know, live cover. And so I really don't know with any, you know, accuracy when any of these calves are going to be born. So it's just this game of coming out here and checking every day and feeding them and seeing, you know, when are the calves going to be born. And we've kind of tried to plan to have calves from October through February. You know, I want to have calves in the wintertime because I seem to have more trouble with flies in the summer if they're born really in the heat than if they're born in the cool. And we don't particularly have real, you know, nasty blizzard, freezing cold winters either. So being born in those cooler months, I think, is better for us. But just don't know when they're going to be born, where they're going to be at. And to tell you the truth, I'm not 100% sure which cow gave birth to that one that I found in the pasture. My suspicion is that it unfortunately might be Pepper, one of my other registered cows. So Pepper had a black bull calf last year that we decided to keep. He's going to be our future herd sire. And she gave birth last year in October. So here in December, I mean, that would line up fairly right time for her to give birth. But the other thing that makes me wonder, it's 2 things. My mother thought she saw some afterbirth or something, you know, hanging from Pepper, and I never did see a calf, didn't see what she was talking about either. I wasn't able to check right away. And I did see Pepper go up and look at the carcass of that calf. And so if that was hers, which I kind of think it was, it especially sucks because as one of my registered cows, her calves would be registerable and be much more valuable. So as a relatively small ranch, you know, we don't have 100 head of cows. We've got like 17 or 18 mamas. To lose 3 in a year is financially devastating. You know, not let alone, I don't want any of the calves to die, but it just really sucks that those that are the most valuable, I'm afraid it was hers and we lost it. So getting that predator call coming out here, if I can take out a few coyotes, maybe it'll make me feel a little better. I don't know. We're going to keep that cell camera up for a few days to see if anything else comes around during a daylight hour that I can rush over here and get a shot at. But we do have some calves that were been born recently that are doing great. So, you know, Bernadette, she's one of my real good registered cows. She had a heifer. Irina, which I think she walked over there to that little remnant of a hay pile. She had a heifer. Irina is, FSH Irina is one of my cows that I bought from the National Western Livestock Show out in Denver. So genetically, that's one of my better cows, and she's had a heifer calf. So real excited about that this year we've had 2 registered or registerable heifers. We've had several little bull calves. We've had one white little bull calf. That one over there, when it was born, looked fairly white, but now that it's gotten a little bit older, it's turning more of a kind of a blondie, light red, yellow color. She's a heifer, but she's not registerable. But we've had a few cows. I think we were still anticipating that we could still have 6 more. So we've had 8 born in this fall time. 2 of those have died, and I think we could still have 6 more. So hopefully we'll have some more of those born here in the near future. And that means 6 months from now, we'll have some that are weaning age. We'll kind of decide at that time what we're going to do, whether we're going to keep them or sell them, or, you know, turn them into steers, or what we're going to do. But excited because just any day now we could have more and more cows. Hey, Pepper. I'm afraid that may be your calf out there, isn't it? Sorry, girl. So feeding hay, feeding cubes, coming out to check the calves. Excited we've had some born. In other news, I've had a bit of a confusion on one of my bull calves that we registered. So the black calf that we kept as a bull, it's going to be our new future herd sire. We named him Gaston of HW. That's our herd letters, HW, 100 Acre Wood. And when you AI one of these calves, you take a hair sample from its tail and you send it into a lab to be verified through DNA that the sire is who you said it is. And so we sent in 3 hair samples. One of them came back pretty much right away that it was the right sire. The other 2 were still pending, and one of them came back this week, Gaston's, the black one, and it said that Broadstone, the 18th of Stonecliff, is not the sire, which is what I wrote down was the straw that was used. And so I called the vet, and we had all those cows AI'd about December, I think it was 9th of 2021, so 2 years ago now. So they are looking back in their records to see if maybe they accidentally used a different straw. So I had straws from DH Exclusive, WL Genesis, which either of those could be the sire, Sweetbriar Epic Lad, Armageddon. I want to say there's one more, but I have to look back at my records to see who it is. But don't really know who the daddy of that black bull cow is right now, and I need to find out, because if he's going to be registered, we have to figure out who the sire is. So hopefully the vet's going to call me back this week and give me updated news that maybe they use WL Genesis, or maybe they use that DH Exclusive. But if not, I'm just going to have to send the lab a list of all the possible straws that we have, and they'll just go down the list testing for all of them. I don't know yet whether I have to pay for each and every one of those, because when you originally send in those hair samples, you pay a fee for them to check it out. I don't want to have to pay a fee 5 or 6 times for them to verify it. So hopefully the vet will have some good news on that. But that's why you need to take good records and write down what straws were used and what embryos are used, or any of that, which I thought I had done, but obviously some wires got crossed. But that leads me to the next change that we're going to start making, that honestly should have started a while back, but it's time to start ear tagging some of these calves. When I first started, I just had 4 cows, and so I was only going to have 4 calves, and it wasn't rocket surgery to figure out that calf belongs to that cow. Well, now that there's a potential to have, 15, 16 calves, it's a lot more important for me to tag and know when. So one of these year-end projects that I'm looking at doing is either getting a squeeze chute or something where I can better work these calves, but that's coming up real soon. I'm gonna start ear tagging all these babies so I can better verify whose is whose. What I do right now is, as I'm coming out and checking the cows, if I see one that's been born today or possibly yesterday, take a photo of it, and I save that, and I know that this calf belongs to that person, and I have a time stamp of what day it was born, and I keep a spreadsheet and a 3-ring binder, and in that 3-ring binder I have a page for every cow, and I know the date that it gave birth, whether it was a bull or a heifer, what color it was. We write in there when we weaned it, what we did with it, whether it was sold or kept as a steer or whatever. So I keep a record for each individual cow. But ear tagging, something I should have done now. Should have done it back a while ago, but like I said in the beginning, wasn't exactly important. Here's that little bull calf with the mystery daddy. He is so vocal. He is always out here just mooing and grunting and causing all kinds of ruckus. So he's only about a year old now. So really we got about probably another year before he's really effective as a bull. But in the meantime, we will keep Momentous, and we'll probably have to DNA type all the calves that are registerable for a period of time to determine, was Gaston the sire or was Momentous the sire? And then eventually, once this guy is good size and grown and able to get the job done, we'll figure out a different home for Momentous. But for right now, we just first got to figure out who his sire is so that he can be properly registered. Well, I think that's all for today. I've got the church play coming up again tonight, so unfortunately for me and luckily for the coyotes, they are safe this evening because I will not be here. But I will be back armed with rifle, trail cameras, and predator calls to hopefully take out a few. If this is your first time finding us, you can look us up on Facebook and Instagram by searching 100 Acre Wood Highlands. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video.